So, this question's been on my mind for a good week or so now since getting hooked back into Warhammer. I really like Roll20. That much should be obvious by now. And I know there's a lot of issues with the fella, but it's free and it just works. I want to see, can you do it all on Roll20? So I knew coming into this there will be a few things I want to know. Firstly, I guess I have to figure out how to actually play Warhammer. And I think we'll go with 40k just because I think that's what you guys might want to see most. And I'm sure it could be easily translated to Age of Sigmar. I guess first things first, I have to pick an army to rep. I used to collect the Space Wolves as a little kid, and we had plenty of Space Marines as the family, and some fantasy skeletons for some reason. Like just one group. I think we just wanted skeletons one time. Now I definitely want an army with a vehicle, just to see how I would do it. And for that I think we're going to go with the classic Astra Militarum. Adeptus Militarum, whoever they are. Mainly because I have a mate with the Codex, but you know. And to make things even easier on myself, so I don't have to actually design a whatever points army, we might just go with their start collecting box. God bless you if you're still with us. But I got a Roll20 game set up right now, and I suppose we need the army. So I got up the start collecting Astra Militarum set. Can we see what's in this especially? I receive a Lehman Russ battle tank, shoutouts to Lehman Russ, Cadian heavy weapons team, a commissar, and 10 troops. Alright, so let's get the troops first. Let's just like grab a quick picture of these fellas. So I got up the classic token creator, right? Everyone uses this bad boy. Let's get my Cadian troop in here. I guess you could have a border and tint it to be like your color, just so you can like signify whose it is on the map. But I think we might just go with maybe just a green border. It doesn't matter too much. Now, what you might want is like a picture to signify a different troop or the captain or something. Or like if they have a flamer or something, you might want a different token just to represent them. And we have the heavy weapons squad. Now, I suppose you could really just use, like, well, any picture you want, really, like, as long as you have permission, I guess. Or you could just use, like, the box art of the boxes they come in, you know? Alright, so we got most of the group, except for the tank. Now, I have these squares set to 1 inch. Like, from one side to the other, that's 1 inch. Because I'm pretty sure the bases are 1 inch. We're going off the assumption that the bases are 1 inch. Now, I think the bases for the large ones, are they 2 inches? I feel like they would be, right? Let me just double check. Okay, so apparently they're like 2.4 inches. So let's see if we can finagle the map to reflect that, right? We might have to figure out how to buff this up to be larger. 2.4? That looks like it did it. And then I got over to the side here, just the kind of team set. So I could open the weapons team, right? And chuck it in as the selected token. And then I could probably put the stats up in its avatar or just somewhere written in the bio. Just snag them from my codex. So if I ever want to drag out a weapons team, I can just drag out a frickin' huge weapons team. That's because it's still set to this scale. If we put it back to 1, that should do it. And I could do the same thing with my shock troopers. I just have to make a variant for every special trooper I use. So I have both of them, right? I can just drag out my troops when I need them. And then, theoretically, I could just field an army real quick. There you go. Didn't have to spend a whole bunch of money and paint them. I just have an army ready. Brilliant. The main reason why I do this isn't because I don't love the whole collecting and painting them thing. I just would really like to test armies sometimes, you know? Like, I'd like to know if what I'm buying is worth it. And I feel like this would be a really good way to test builds you might not want to sink time and money into. Until you know it works, right? So now the tank, I suppose. And I do remember something from Games Workshop that was pretty neat and I think will help us a lot. Since they're like large models, it would feel weird to just put them as a token on the map. Because they don't have a base, right? And I'm pretty sure it's important which way they're facing. So if we find the battle tank specifically, this bad boy, and we go to this, the 360 view. Okay, now here's where we get crazy. We can drag this around, but can we? Yeah, we can. It's not perfectly straight, but I got image editing software. Alright, so I just had to straighten him up a little, but I'm pretty sure vehicles will be alright. But how big is a Lehman Russ tank now then? So forums say it's about 4.7 inches long. So if we 4.7, okay, and this one it said it was 5.9, which I would be inclined to believe. That's looking right. So that's how I think I would do vehicles, which is one of the big questions I had when this was festering in my mind as an idea. So you want to play Warhammer? So I guess that's how I would field an army if doing this. And I could easily test if I think I would like this army. But I think we all want to see this in action, which means I'll need another player. Let me go see if someone's free.